Hey guys, welcome to another Texas Bolt Action Battle Report. I'm here today with Chris from Houston. He's in town for a meeting, and he has brought his DAC army over here to battle it out with my Americans. And it's always exciting to get another army, somebody else's army for once, on the table for the battle reports. We've kind of been experimenting with some story-based gameplay. I think today is going to be a straight game. We've got an idea. It'll still have a little bit of a narrative, but we're going to, be playing, probably paying a little bit closer attention to the rules and things like that. We're doing a 50-point game of demolition. And as you can see, we are on a rugged battlefield. So since Chris brought his DAC, I figure we can say this is Sicily. They have their tropical uniforms on. And the Americans have been sent to clear out this really craggy mountain pass that the Germans, as you can see, have defended it. The idea is going to be today that there's a couple of juicy targets on each side. The Germans have a Nebelwerfer that they've been using to shell the Americans for weeks. It's down for repair, and the Americans have had enough of it, and they're sending a team over to destroy that. And the Americans have an ammo supply that the German recon has notified them is dangerously close to the front line, so they're going to be sending someone over to take care of that. So we figure that it'll fit this table to play a little game of demolition, and also maybe fit our schedule, which Chris has a hard out at 11, so we're gonna hope that we can get it done before then. But anyway, we're going to go over what we have today. I've got today I'm bringing a company of Americans. I got the first lieutenant right here. He's a regular first lieutenant, and he also has a rookie inexperienced second lieutenant to aid him. In the HQ section, there's also a medic. We have 3 squads of battle-tested veterans that have been veterans of the North African campaign. So they are going to be supplemented by 2 squads of regulars, men with some experience but not a lot. They also have a machine gun for support, a 30 cal Browning, and then they've also been given, since this battle has been raging for a while, as you can see by all the sandbags and the dugout trenches and things, there's also a artillery attachment, a medium howitzer, an M2A1, as well as an M7 Priest, which is something that I have not put on the battlefield as much as I would like, so I thought I would give that a try. There's also, in the anti-tank department, we have a medium AT gun, an M1 57 millimeter gun, and another unit that I don't really put on the table very often, but I thought it would be fun, is this M10 tank destroyer, so the Wolverine. So we're going to, I'm going to go over here and let Chris tell you what he's got in his huge army here. So Chris, what do you got?
All right, Tyler, well, this is actually just a slight variation of the list I played in the recent Bayou Battles tournament in Houston. Good outing there, and came pretty close, I don't know, probably 7th or 8th. So only changes to this list are the removal of a motorcycle and an addition of a SDFKZ 222. So I'm started off, I've got a regular first lieutenant, and he's got 5 squads of infantry with him, all regulars here. This is a veteran infantry. I'm using Warlord's Gewürzträgers to represent veteran infantry here, and also a squad of pioneers. I've got a couple SMGs and a flamethrower in here. Got a medium artillery piece with an observer or a spotter, medium machine gun team, a anti-tank rifle team, a medium mortar team with a spotter as well, the aforementioned 222, a Panzer III-E, the light anti-tank gun, armor 8, and then a Opel Blitz truck with a pintle-mounted MMG.
All right. So looking at the battlefield, we got a lot of hard cover, as you can see. We've decided to say that the rocks are impassable to vehicles, and vehicles can also not drive up on the hillsides. So, and the hillsides are going to be like rugged terrain, so units will have to advance up and down them. And as you can see, there's one single road that leads up the way, up the table to the other side. and these armies have been dug in for a while. They've been battling over this particular piece of terrain for a while. There's a bunker over here in the middle. Well, it's more of a hard cover. It's more of a makeshift bunker, so it's going to be hard cover. And there's a few sporadic buildings, scattered throughout here and there. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and play turn. Or actually, we're going to do a deployment first because this is demolition. We're going to try to do it by the book, and so we're going to do that really quickly, and then we'll let you know how that went. So stay tuned. Salvo. Hey guys, welcome back to turn 1 of this game. The game opened up with a blistering American salvo from the 2 medium howitzers from the Priest and the M2A1. The shot from the Priest, positioned over here, landed squarely up on this ridge in the center of these veterans. Took out 3 men and then made them have to go down. And also kind of held up this squad, the regular squad behind them, because they couldn't really advance through them and without being in their way. So they ended up just having to go into ambush. The heavy machine gun on the Priest opened up on this machine gun right here and killed a guy. And then it moved up and took another pin from the American medium machine gun down there in the woods, as you can see. And then the M2A1 howitzer opened up on the German medium howitzer in a counter battery barrage, killed 2 of their crew, and also put 2 pins on them as well. However, the Germans weren't going to have any of that, and they answered in kind. The medium mortar actually fired all the way downfield onto the medium howitzer, scored a direct hit. And since that howitzer had already fired, those men were all standing up, congratulating each other on their achievement. And they are now no more. They've been vaporized. So that's too bad. Meanwhile, the veterans, under the cover of all this, moved down. These veterans tried to get to the trench, the slit trench, but they mostly exposed on the hill. This other squad of veterans did make it down to the slit trench, so they are in position. They took shots at the Germans over here, and I think they put a pin on them but did not kill anyone. Medium AT gun didn't have any targets, so it opened up on those Germans who have advanced into that redoubt, missed. The
anti-tank rifle team.
Anti-tank rifle team took a shot at the medium AT gun and did kill 1 person, put a pin on it. So they are under fire right now from that basically like a tank sniper up there on the ridge. So so that's that. I'll move over here to the German side to just point out that these this squad of regulars did advance. They're making their way up to this good position up here, and there's no longer a howitzer covering that position, so they may be in a good spot to do some damage once they get there. And then this squad moved over into started making their way into these defenses. So they weren't quite able to get up to the sandbags, up to the hard cover, but they did get into some soft cover there, and they do have at least a view of the enemy now. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 2, and we will let you know how it goes, so stay tuned. All right, guys, we are back at the end of turn 2, and as you can see, some new German elements have entered the table. The 222 came up here and took some shots at my veterans, who did get down into the cover and did not take any hits from him. We had some battles with these veterans who have seized the hill. These regular squads of Chris's. Regular grenadiers have taken this position. The Americans just weren't quick enough, and they opened up fire on the vets, managed to kill one, put a couple pins on him. One of them was removed later. This squad also moved up. They did take some fire from this squad over here, as well as these vets, and somewhere along the line lost a man and took a pin. So a little bit of a skirmish, a little bit of a firefight. Meanwhile, a German Panzer III has moved on and also taken shots across the field at the veterans in the trench. Didn't do much damage, so they have that to contend with now, though. Meanwhile, Germans took some more fire from the priest over here, but the priest did not manage to score a hit this time on the veterans, but it did put a pin with its machine gun on. Well, maybe it opened up on somebody. I guess it missed with its machine gun.
Yeah, your medium
machine gun fired at this squad and did put a pin on them. This howitzer also failed an orders test, so it didn't do anything this round. So it stayed there. Meanwhile, a German truck full of pioneers rolled up the road all the way from that corner of the table, right up in front of the Americans' faces. So it'll be interesting to see what transpires from that. The squad of regulars also took up positions where the howitzer had been, and also put some rounds down on this squad, and I believe did put a pin on them. Actually, no, they didn't hit anything. They didn't hit a single thing. So yeah, that's where it stands. We're still in a little bit of a stalemate, but the Germans are on the move. If the Americans want to get to that Nebelwerfer, take it out, they're going to have to get a move on. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 3. We'll let you know what happens, so stay tuned. All right. A pretty bloody turn 3. As you can see here, the veterans are starting to move off this hill, and as they did so, they struck an ambush that these guys over here had, and left a trail of dead on their way down. They did get down there, though, and they did manage to put another pin on those guys. Didn't manage to kill anybody, though. Meanwhile, this squad right here also moved out of their stronghold, moving down the hill. It's all to support this squad of veterans that came on and outflank, forced this team to go down, but did not kill a single man. Did put one pin on them, but now they are just like right there in the open, just facing them down. Their officer did sneak around the side over here, and he managed to kill one man off of that squad. So it's looking pretty rough over there. It's going to be a showdown for sure. Meanwhile, over here on this flank, the transport unloaded its machine guns into this medium machine gun, but then it was left too close to the enemy, so a grenade got that, took it out. However, the pioneers frontally assaulted the M7 Priest and wiped it out completely. So the Americans have lost all of their artillery support, but these regulars did come on the table, took shots directly at this unit, and got them whittled down with the help of the M10 Wolverine that also showed up on the scene and managed to get them from the rear. So we have a little bit of help on this objective, but it all comes down to this objective right here. If they end their next turn on touching the base of that Jeep, it's over. The inexperienced second lieutenant, you can see they're talking on his radio, also put a couple of SMG rounds into them as well. Meanwhile, over here, most of these units either remain down or didn't do a whole lot, but they did manage to shed some pins because they stayed down for the entire turn. This squad of vets lost all of their pins. The howitzer lost, how many pins did it lose?
Lost all its pins.
Lost all of its pins, so it's back in the mix. The medium machine gun, did it have pins to lose, or
Nope.
did it? Okay,
No,
so
it
it's
was
just
went into ambush,
still
but
there.
never did anything.
This squad tried to do some advancing, but they foobarred and they ran all the way back to the edge of the ridge. The anti-tank gun tried its best to take some shots at the priest, which you can see down there, but it did not manage to hit it at all, as the priest is in pretty good, I mean, not the priest, sorry, the Wolverine. It's in pretty good cover behind that wall. Mortar fired at the AT gun, but missed. AT gun is still covering the valley. The AT gun tried to fire at the 222, but it 222 recce'd into hard cover, and the AT gun missed. And the Panzer also set its sights on the medium AT gun up there, but did not manage to score any hits. So yeah, meanwhile, this squad just took tons of hits and is just getting whittled away by American fire. The Americans are keen to get that squad removed so that they can open up the way to get to their objective, which is the Nebelwerfer over here in the alley. So we're going to play turn 4, see if they do it, and we will let you know how it goes. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, welcome back to turn 4. Man, a lot has happened in this turn, and I don't know, I mean, you may have been able to tell by my tone of voice in the last turn that things weren't going too great for me, but now I think things have turned around a little bit for the Americans. However, we still have the situation over here. Even though this squad, to just rewind, what Chris did with the Pioneers is he assaulted this officer here, thinking that he would be able to resolve and get them to touch the base of the ammo supply dump there. However, they only resolved 1 inch, so they were not quite within enough room to get to that base to touch it. So now this regular squad was able to just put rounds into them, into their face. They also took fire from the heavy machine gun of the M10, and they are down to 3 men. They're pinned twice, so that's just kind of where things stand right now. But this is just a testament to the power of veterans. I mean, if you guys are taking veterans in your list, or if you aren't taking veterans in your list, you need to be, because I mean, look at how well they're just holding out there in the open, just taking all kinds of fire from a full squad, in fact, and still surviving. Meanwhile, the machine gun relocated. This squad tried to take shots at the anti-tank gun up on the hill, didn't get it done. I should mention that the priest had tried to fire down at the
Wolverine.
The Wolverine. Why do I keep calling that the priest? The Wolverine, it's because I missed the priest. That's why. But the Wolverine is, he took shots down at the Panzer III and missed this time. So hopefully he gets a shot before the Panzer does. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting engagement. Light AT gun against light armor. Heavy AT gun against light armor on this vehicle, but both vehicles are in range of each other. Meanwhile, the Americans are starting to move. This squad, the veteran squad, ended up assaulting the men in the bunker and wiping them out, so they took control of the bunker. So the other squads have the go-ahead to start moving. However, this squad right here just took a shot and a miss from the medium howitzer, which is back in the game up here on the hill. It's shed its pins, it's back in the game, so it's firing shots down that direction to try and take out those squads, so that could definitely have an effect on the Americans' push. Meanwhile, this squad also shed its pins, did not do anything this turn, was down this last turn, or what was that squad? It was down, or what?
It's been down pretty much since turn 1.
But it finally shed its pins.
Shed all its pins.
It's finally back in the mix.
Yep.
Okay, and then we have this squad here that also recently just shed a few pins.
They foobarred.
Yeah. Okay. So all of the fire that these other squads on the hill delivered to this squad caused them to end up just going down. They have an American veteran squad just right there in their way. So the 222 rolled up and took shots up the hill at the veterans that have taken that position, trying to get them softened up. trying to discourage them from coming down. So we have turn 5 and 6 to play. The Americans are still a long ways away from their objective. The Germans are still right on the doorstep of their objective, but hopefully the tide will turn in the next turn for me, hopefully for me. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far, it's a really exciting game. So I hope you enjoy and stick around for turn 5. Okay, guys, we are back after the end of turn 5, and it's been pretty interesting. The tables have turned. As you can see over here, the Americans are, they finally won the day. Now, it's pretty interesting. The flamethrower tried to fire at them, but missed and then ran out of fuel and then fled the field, leaving behind the NCO and the squad. And that gave these guys plenty of reason to assault, take him out, which they did. The priest also kind of did its part. It sniped the Panzer III, took it out completely with exceptional damage. So meanwhile, everyone is starting to move across the field. This squad here assaulted this team, or the squad behind the sandbags, won the assault, got on down the road, following on the heels of these guys. These guys did take a shot from an anti-tank rifle up on the hill and lost a man. That's him there in the road. 222 moved up, took shots at this squad before they had run, when they were still back behind this cover, but didn't manage to hit anybody. Unlucky roll. This squad advanced out of its stronghold. It's also moving down, so now we have 3 squads converging on the objective in this final turn, and we'll have to see how that goes. Some other notable things that happened is, well, this is actually really interesting. The howitzer turned its arc so that it could start focusing on these men in the next turn, start bearing down. But in doing so, it exposed its side to this medium machine gun that had relocated last turn, and it put shots into the medium howitzer and managed to kill everyone. So the medium howitzer is no longer in play. So the Germans are kind of losing some of their firepower. Squads on the hill, as well as a machine gun, are doing their part to try and pin the M10 Wolverine at this point. Did I say priest again a second ago?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Okay.
No, you might have.
I think I did. It's something I do.
You know what? In that case, it's a draw.
I think my viewers are well accustomed to me misnaming things pretty constantly. But I just get so into the games that I just, my head goes to a different place. But anyway, so they're trying to pin the Wolverine, and it's not working out too well as the Wolverine. Well, I mean, it kind of worked out. They have 1 pin. Okay, so we are going to play the next turn. I gotta say, I'm having a really good time playing on this table. If you guys like this setup and you want to see another video with the same setup, I'm thinking maybe one with like the British. Maybe they're moving down the valley, trying to clear the Germans out. Maybe trying to get to that spot over there. Maybe like a 10-turn game or something like that. Anyway, if you want to see something like that, give me a holler in the comments. In the meantime, we're going to play turn 6, and we will let you know how it goes at the end, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, we are back after turn 6, and as you can see, the Americans have managed to run and surround the target, and ostensibly blowing it up. This turn, the Germans weren't really in a position to put too much fire into them, so they did focus on this one squad that was outside here. Got some grudge kills. You can see this squad's corpses are just kind of like, you can see a trail from where they started over here in this trench to where they ended up. You got that guy down there behind the 222. 222 put some shots into them. The AT rifle on the hill put some shots into them. Couldn't get it done. These men took some shots at the 222 to try to pin it, but they couldn't. Well, they did pin it, but it passed its orders test. My officer jumped into the ditch and shot the enemy officer in cold blood. But anyway, meanwhile, up here on the hill, a lot of shots put into the M10 Wolverine, and the mortar ended up landing a shell directly on top of it, but only managing to stun it. So it is. It's actually it tried to fire at the 222, but it ended up just retreating back because it failed its orders test. So yeah, that's pretty much the high and low of it. The Americans managed to get the stronghold taken out with the flanking vets, managed to get their guys out into the field, and had some good luck, really. I mean, just managing to take out the howitzer with the machine gun, the lucky machine gun shot, and taking out the Panther III was just kind of just some luck, some lucky shots. Chris has some thoughts about what he thinks he could have done to improve. I'll let you want to talk about what you said you were what you're thinking.
Well, I think in the early turns, I drew the first, I think, 2 order dice on turn 1, and rather than firing at your priest to take it out with my howitzer, I did something else. I think I actually did a snap to action move, which actually was
took some dice out of the bag.
Irrelevant.
Yeah,
it really didn't mean anything at that time because of all of the terrain that was blocking fire. So that was an early mistake, which allowed you to put a lot of pin markers on this veteran squad, which they ended up being down for 4 turns. And it totally took them out of the game. And also, as you indicated early in the post-turn analysis, the squad that was behind here became effectively blocked.
Kind of held them up a little bit.
Right, so they couldn't go here because it would be in the wide open.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough room to run through here, so...
I mean, I kind of figured you were going to go down the hill into the orchard here and use that as like your springboard, to get over here.
Well, the plan really was to advance the veterans to this point, and then allow the other guys to come behind them, and then possibly move the veterans here to provide the covering fire for what was originally the plan
to get that
with the truck to run the truck up, which, as you indicated, you didn't expect to happen. And, I've used that technique or strategy 4 times now, and it's worked.
I mean,
1.5 times.
I will say, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect a car full of pioneers to come from the far corner of the board all the way across the longest length of the table up into the face of my machine gunner that was in those woods and unload pioneers and get that close to the objective. That was quite admirable. It was pretty cool.
I think also I didn't expect. I thought that you were going to your initial reaction to the pioneers was what I expected, which was to kind of pucker up, and to kind of change your strategy.
Change up,
I expected that you were going to use the Wolverine with the machine guns to take those guys out. So that was going to give me the room to continue to advance the Panzer. Which I only did after I took out your anti-tank guns.
You got that.
And then in the late game, stuff is really not supporting this side of the table and my objective enough.
Well, you probably didn't think that was going to get across that expanse. There's so much rough ground and so much...
Well, a key move, too, was a point where I forgot. I failed an order test. Tyler had his veteran squad outside of this bunker area. I had my squad inside, and it was a full squad. It had a single pin on it. And I failed the order test, but I forgot that I had the opportunity to re-roll that order test. I was going to put that squad on ambush with this squad standing right outside, which would have really improved their chances of surviving his frontal assault. So that was a rules error on my part. And aside from that, I think, really pulling the support here, or at least not hanging back enough to provide the support to guard the objective. And then I think, some deployment issues, really kind of affected it.
I forget my special rules all the time.
But other than that, it was a pleasure and a joy to join you here tonight. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing the battle rep.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, Chris. We'll have to get another game in when you get your Africa, your 8th Army and your Soviets painted up. We'll have to redo another one. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching another Texas Bolt Action Battle Report. I'll tell you that I am 125 subscribers away from 1,000, so it would be nice if you would subscribe and like my video and tell your friends if you're into battle reports or if they're into battle reports. It would also be good of you to tell me if you want to see another battle on this table. I really think it would be cool to get a British AVRE chugging up this road and trying to blast some Germans out of some really dug-in hard positions. Kind of maybe a Leary Valley type scenario. So let me know, and I'll take that into account before I decide what to do about this table, if I want to reset it or not. And I should also let you know that we got some desert battles on the way, because there's a new book out, and I ordered a bunch of desert troops, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, well, this has been a long outro, but thank you for watching, and hope you have a great day. See you soon.